very similar, but there are some key differences, like the fact that the newer 9980X comes with a higher single-core boost clock, more L1 cache, more PCI Express 5.0 lanes, slightly higher 6400 megatransfers per second memory support.
Visa
but the real
and
difference is the
MasterCard,
fact that
particularly Visa, has been having a very, very, very bad week. After effectively capitulating to the 20 most aggrieved Karens on the internet, they are now facing a deluge of negative sentiment. People are calling them and saying, what the fuck are you doing, trying to censor everything. Praise 4chan, keep going. I think people should keep calling
We got
too.
a hilarious
Keep calling until they totally stop doing this.
We've got a hilarious...
And even that won't be a solution. The solution is to push for legislation to make it to where they can't do it.
Update on the payment processor situation. Yep. Quick context to this. Early on, when Collective Shout went after payment processors to try and get them to
Collective Shout is a literal Karen advocacy group in Australia that complains about things and just literally, it's basically, can I speak to the manager incorporated?
After Steam, and Steam ended up changing their policies over all this stuff, removing certain adult games. You know the story. Well, people were coming up with ideas to fight back against the payment processors. And one of the ideas that was being shared early on was, for example, as you can see here on our Steam, 5 days ago, how to directly pressure payment processors.
That's right.
If you have a Visa card, go here. Tell Visa you're ticked.
And you have to directly pressure them. Because if you don't directly pressure them, people that want to censor you will. You don't bring a knife to a gunfight. You can, but you're going to end up dead.
Need to directly pressure them. Be nice, don't be rude. Remember, customer service tech you're talking to didn't make the decision, but we need to stand up against censorship. And so some people are sharing their testimonials, if you will, their stories about what happened when they contacted these payment processors, and it seems like this is actually, on some level, working. So this is a good update, and also a hilarious one. So I mentioned there were some testimonials, or however you want to put it. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This user saying, Visa card representative yelled at me. I called this number and simply asked about the content guideline. I got, we've been getting thousands of calls. You talked to someone? Who did you call? Other people accepted what I said, so why don't you? And then saying at Visa is cooked. And then we also got this one saying, did what I could today, did some work, called Visa. The man was understanding, put me on hold for 25 minutes. When back, it was a new person who was very tired. I then repeated the whole story and I could hear the sigh of energy draining when they knew what it was leading to. This one's crazy. Says, I wish this was a joke, but I got called a predator today by a Visa rep.
That's bullshit. I don't believe it.
Think I just happened to be called that. Wait, think I just happened to be a call that pushed the woman over. Excuse me. Lodged 2 formal complaints after that and spun circles on the 2 calls and was about 25 minutes. Why would you get called a predator, though?
Probably because they were defending a game that that was viewed as a predator game.
Correct, dude.
That's the reason why.
We've also got this one. Says,
Visa
had a similar
kicked
issue
my
on the phone
dog
yesterday with Visa.
Wait,
in which
really?
They were hyper aggressive. And the woman even tried suggesting that I must have been buying illegal content. What? Before launching into her, I'm going to disconnect the call now script. Wait. So, is the implication here that they're being called like predators and buying illegal content because they're fighting back against these restrictions?
Absolutely. And that's the entire Karen script. It's that if you don't agree with us, you're helping predators. And so it creates a moral high ground.
Seems like the sort of thing like collective
In order to understand how people like this operate, think about the stupidest, most brain-dead, emotionally driven argument that you could possibly imagine. That's what they're using.
Would say, like, I wouldn't expect this from people who are just like Visa hotline people. And I kind of feel bad.
This is all bullshit. Just people calling to blast customer service reps have zero power. Do we need to wait to actually put executives on blast? Oh no, I think that we should do that too. Absolutely. But if you just push back against it collectively, I think that's the best option. Sending emails to executives and also to other people in marketing is probably the best option. And then also especially telling them that you're ending service. I think that's another thing, but nothing will solve this problem other than legislation. But this is a nice stop. It's a nice Band-Aid for now, right?
on one hand, because like they're just, you know, the
And
employees.
the thing is that the goal with doing this is to make companies afraid to capitulate to advocacy groups. That is the goal. You want to create a. So you're asking somebody, like, do you want to get your hand cut off or your arm cut off? You want to make sure that making you unhappy is getting your entire arm cut off. And what I mean by that is you have to create, if you want to change people's behavior and you want people to side with you, you have to create a negative consequence that is so extreme that not going along with you will be detrimental. That's what you do. That's how it works.
Who are not responsible for these policy decisions and whatnot, but like they shouldn't accuse people of being predators and saying they're violently
Fighting fire with fire.
My point is that seems like
Always
the sort of thing
fight
you would
fire with
expect
fire.
a collective shout to say, right? Like, oh, you're upset with us going after these games, you must be a predator, or you must be buying illegal content or something, you know, some nonsensical point like that. But apparently these people are saying that even some of these Visa hotline people are saying stuff like this to them. Maybe I'm misunderstanding this. I'm just trying to make sense of you know, some of these responses that people are apparently getting. And as written here, the